You're listening to Dominion Voice by Pastor Lanre, Ajanaku.
Why don't you go pray over it and just think about it and come back? And she came back 2 weeks later, and she came back. Guess what she said? She gave me a big yes. When she gave me the big yes, I said, yeah. You know, very strange. I mean, very strange there. Immediately she gave me a yes. You know what I did? I got up from my seat where I was sitting and I held her and I said, Lord, and I began to pray. She was looking at me. I said, Lord, I know I followed my heart by speaking to her, but in the event that I am wrong, no matter how much I try to keep this relationship, Lord, just break it. But if I am right, no matter how much I want to pull away from this relationship, make it impossible. I said that in 10th October, 27th of October, 1994, was when I prayed that prayer. And eventually I got married to her on the 7th of August, 1999. It's going to be 20 years now that we've been married. Wow. In August. I look back, it's just like yesterday. You know, time just flies. Time flies, just like that. So Jacob came and said, that was just a tip for you. Jacob came and said, hey, Laban, my wage should be, let me walk, I want to marry your daughter. And Laban said, hey, for you to marry my daughter, work for me 7 years. And he worked 7 years. And after 7 years of work, the very night of the wedding, you know, when you're going to marry wives in those days, the wife would be veiled. So the woman was veiled. And Jacob was so happy. And maybe he drank a bit of wine and he was a bit tipsy. He didn't even bother to look at the wife. He just went in, oh yeah. And he woke up in the morning and said, hey, who do I have here? This is the elder sister Leah. I'm begging for Rachel. What's happening here? And he was hungry, just went to his father-in-law. I thought we negotiated for Rachel. Oh, the father said, Laban said, no, don't worry. In our culture, the younger one does not marry before the elder one. So work another 7 years and you have Rachel. You know, there are some dumb things men do when they're in love. And this young man went ahead and there's worked another 14 years. And it was just like this. That is what the power of love can do. Woo! Love make you do some dumb things. Well, it was good for him anyway. And 14 years was just like this. And here Rachel came and he got married to Rachel. But you know what? He had planted a bit of integrity when he took Esau. Mm-hmm. When he took Esau's battle. Mm-hmm. And you see how he was paid big time for 14 years before he could have. And not only that, he did not reap that harvest and he stayed there. After 14 years, Laban now said, well, I've known that because of you, God has blessed me so much. And that drives me to another thing. Relationship. When you keep the right integrity, also be careful that you work with people of integrity. I'm not saying you should go push out anyone that you sense that is not having integrity away from you. But what I'm saying is, we must have enough mind of our own to be able to put such people a bit of a distance from us. Anyone that you realize does not have integrity, try to push him a little bit away. Because anyone that you work with that does not have integrity is contagious. It's contagious. It will affect you. Don't make such people that you have as very close friends. Always remember, friendship is by choice. It's by choice. You have to make up your mind who you want to make as someone very close to you. If you work with somebody that lies and lack of integrity, very soon it's going to rub off. It's going to rub off on you. It's going to rub off on you, and you would not know. You won't know when it begin to. It's very contagious. Mm-hmm. So you have to put such far from you. And so Laban said, I have known by experience. Another verse of the scripture says, I have visited a sorcerer, and he had told me that because of you, God has blessed me. That is relationship. God has blessed me. So please don't go. But you know, Jacob was very smart. He now told me, he said, well, I don't want to be paid wages any longer. I want to be a shareholder. And he said, instead of you paying me wages every month for my work, I want it to be that every of the sheep that are spotted, and the one that are white will be yours, the ones that are spotted are very few. Let them be mine. And he said, no, fine. And because Jacob was carrying the covenant, all the lambs, all the sheep, goats, they began to give birth to spotted ones. And Jacob was so prosperous. And the children of Laban will see, and he will go back to tell their dad, wow, Jacob has ripped you off. Oh, you need to go back and say. You know, Jacob was very wise. The Bible said he traveled 3 days' journey. Any of the spotted ones that you see, he will gather them together. He will travel 3 days' journey to separate them. But the children of Laban also went for those 3 days and saw. And they came back together. And Laban will call Jacob. Okay, Jacob, no. We're going to change this round. We're going to change it. Now the spotted ones will be mine. The white ones will be yours. And Jacob said, for 10 times, he did that. He changed his wages 10 times. 10 times he did it. Be yours, man. Spotted on be yours. And he changes this position 10 different times. It shows lack of integrity. You've had an agreement and you cannot keep to it. Is lack of integrity. This is very, very important. Extremely important. The one for Jacob and Laban, Genesis chapter 31. Genesis 31, verse 7. Genesis 31, verse 7 and 41. Oh yeah. So your father has deceived me and changed my wages. How many times? 10 times. But God has not allowed him. God kept his. Now you know one thing. Anytime you keep your part of the contract of being a person of integrity, you'll be blessed. Now, many people think that being blessed is a function of hard work. But I've come to realize that being blessed goes beyond hard work. Mm-hmm. It takes the favor of God. Mm-hmm. If being blessed is a function of hard work, then I would say possibly all the lawyers, all the people who have gone to school and lettered should be the richest. But you see some people who cannot even write their name with a pen. I mean, who cannot read and write. And you see, but they have integrity. You see so much wealth coming to them. It shows to me and to everyone that, look, being blessed is not so much of a function of hard work. Hard work is good. I'm not saying you shouldn't work hard. Following the principles to make wealth, which we always treat here, is very good. Mm-hmm. But the greatest of all these teachings we've talked about here is what we are talking about today. Mm-hmm. Integrity. Integrity. No matter how much of these principles, budgeting, wealth creation, prosperity and all, it takes God to make you. Remember what the scripture said, Paul plants, Apollo waters, but there is one person that gives the increase, God. It said Paul plants, Apollo waters, but it's God that gives the increase. God that gives the increase. You know, I remember then when I was going to start my company then, and as at the time I was starting off, and I was leaving my paid job, I was paid off what we call severance pay, you know, and I was paid off. And as at the time I was paid off, shortly before we left the office, I realized that the computer, the system acted up. It acted up. Some postings of trade, you know, I buy stocks, and I bought it within the company I was working with. The system acted up on one particular day that I bought the stocks, and all the debits that was thrown into the account for that very particular day, it was reversed. And nobody knew him. Nobody knew. It was not discovered. But while I was doing the reconciliation of my account, I noticed that, hey, there's an amount in excess of about 1.1, about quite over a million, about 1.2, 1.3 million, which we could say in Canadian dollars about $3,000 or $3,000 to $4,000. And I noticed, but nobody knew. And I was thinking, well, I'm just going to start a company. I need so much money. You know, that thought came. And there's this other thought that also came. Don't do it. It's not right. Everybody on the inside, you have a beast and you have an angel that makes proposal to you. That's what we call temptation. Those thoughts came. And that's quiet thought I said, no, it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. And you know the illustration the Holy Spirit gave to me, which I found very instructive. He said, when you buy gas into your vehicle, and there may be in error, so much water is in the gas that is pumped into your vehicle, you will realize that when you start your car, the vehicle may move, but get to a time as it's moving, and the water and the gas, which is PMS, when it gets into the alternator of the vehicle begins to jack. The vehicle will not be able to move as it ought to move. Are you there? Now, until you go back to the workshop, to the mechanic, and tell him, you go to the workshop and you ask the mechanic, this car is not working well. And the mechanic checks the engine and says, whoa, sorry, there's a mixture of water and gas. You can tell the mechanic, okay, I want to travel. It's so important I have to go. Can you quickly do it? The mechanic will tell you. You can't just run away from here like that. What we have to do, we have to go, lift off this vehicle, remove the tank, pour out everything that is in the tank, the gas and the water. Normally the water will stay in, float or under. One of them is much denser than the other. The water, you have to separate the water from the gas. After you have separated, you now do what? Take the gas and pour it back, or you go and get another gas and pour it in. You may say the water is so small, but do you know what? As small as the water is, that car cannot function. That's the way it is. So that was the illustration this Spirit gave to me. You know what I did? I just took that same money. Nobody knew because I've left the company because I've been paid off. I took that same amount and paid it back into the account. I'm not saying this to show that, hey, he's a superstar here, but I'm using it as an illustration. And I tell you sincerely, that company ran consistently for now about 9 years. Not once have we made a loss on any transaction. You may say it's a coincidence. Well, I like that coincidence. Yeah. It is. I like that kind of coincidence. But something tells me in my heart, if you had mixed that money with your working capital, you would have struggled. You would have struggled. You would have struggled. Don't do it. No matter how small it may be, don't mix it. You know, when you want to poison, if someone's going to poison something, you put a food together, you don't need to add, the poison you need to put in it need not to be as much as the food. It's just going to be very small. Very small. A little integrity, a little lack of integrity is going to pollute the whole food and it's going to kill. So it's extremely important for us to know this. And for you to know that God takes integrity extremely seriously. You see the example of Abraham. Abraham was traveling, he was going on sojourn, and he had a very, very pretty wife, very, very pretty wife, very bright eye, lovely set of teeth, very, very smart, good body, just like my wife, intact. And Abraham said, praise the Lord. And Abraham said to Sarah, he said, if we get into that city, the king is going to look at you and he's going to want to take you. And if he wants to take you, that means he has to kill me. So just say you are my sister. And we see in Genesis chapter 20, verse 6, Genesis 26, we see this example. The king Ahimelech, he did not know that Sarah was the wife of Abraham. And just like Abraham thought, he took her in. But now, a lot of things began to go wrong in his house. And God appeared to him in a dream. He said, you're a dead man. Oh, you have taken somebody's wife. The guy said, hey, I didn't know it is his wife. You know what God said? He said, I know that you did it in the integrity of your heart. There are times we are wrong in the head, But right in the heart, God is not going to condemn you. Because in your heart, when you have integrity, you may be wrong in your head, like the man was wrong in his head. He didn't know. But his heart was right. Because of that, God prevented him from knowing Sarah. The man will know his wife. Integrity is extremely important. In fact, all wealth, enduring wealth, is built on the foundation of integrity. Lasting, enduring wealth is built on the foundation of integrity. So also it is. Lasting, enduring church and ministry can only stand the test of time when it's built on integrity. It is extremely important. God does not joke with integrity. He doesn't joke with integrity. You know, what does integrity do? When a man lives and walks in integrity, you will realize that such a person is kept out of trouble. Genesis 26. When you walk in integrity, you are kept out of trouble. CRA is not going to chase you. No. Cops are not going to knock on your door. When you sleep with your two eyes closed, and you know, and I'm going to wake up next morning without any hassle. The wicked runs when no man is pursuing. A man that lacks integrity runs when no man is pursuing. But the righteous, they are as bold as a lion. When you have integrity keeps you out of trouble. Number two, integrity makes your wealth transgenerational. You just don't have wealth and it stays with you in your generation. Your children, your children's children, they partake of it. Proverbs chapter 13, verse 11. Your children's children, they partake of it. Integrity makes wealth to be transgenerational. Not only that, integrity also gives you an enduring legacy. Proverbs 22, verse 1. Integrity gives you an enduring legacy. A good man, a good name is to be chosen rather than great riches. You realize that you have a legacy. You tell your children that, hey, this name that we have is a good name. Don't do anything to tarnish it. You pass a good name. Your children are so proud of your name. They are so proud to bear your surname. It shouldn't be that your children want to inherit your name and say, no, I'm not going to bear that name again. I want to change my surname. I don't want anybody to know who I am. I don't want them to know that I've come from this family. No. Integrity passes, with integrity, you pass on a good name, a good and enduring legacy for your children and for your children's children. Your children's children, they are so proud. They are so proud to bear your name. And even the women among them, even when they are married, and they say, okay, do you want to change your son? He said, well, I want to change my son. You also say, I want you to bear my son. He said, well, but I still want to keep my dad's name. And we see so many of it. Some ladies, they get married. So, oh, what's your name? Now my name is maybe Clara Clinton, then the surname. You know why? Because that surname has brought a legacy. That name opens doors. Names do open doors, you know. It opens doors. It creates a legacy. So it gives an enduring legacy when we have integrity.